Alright, so we looked into the tabs inside of a submission, and now we'll get to the listings. What are these lists and what we can do with them? So we have a search list here. Search essentially means like all of the submissions that have been made to this submission society, and we are inside of this submission society called maths. And I have four submissions here. The search tab shows all of the submissions that are part of this society, and we have the filters here. We can also export this data, and we can also create an HTML output. So let's click on filters first. Let's see what we have here. We have a complete filter where we can see if the submission has been completed or not, and we can accordingly filter them. We can search with a keyword, which is also possible via here, but we won't do that. And we have a review stage also. We have just one review stage, initial review maths, and we have membership. If we want to check if any of the members has the membership of ABNA, and we can see if any of them is a draft or not, and all means both of them, yes and no, and which is applicable anyway. And then we have decision. We have 6 or 7 uh, default decisions: pending, default, poster presentations. Poster and oral presentations are assigned by the admin once they review the submission and once it has reviews. And similarly, we have a lot of filters here, and we can suit them according to our need and perform actions as we want to. For example, if we want to see if we have articles or submissions which have consent to publish as no, we can set it to no, apply the filter, and we'll see probably the whole list. Yeah, we have the whole list. So, and we can do this again. Which was it? Consent to publish. And we can click on all, and it will show all of them. So let's keep it as it is. And then we have conflicted. If any of them has conflict, we can click on yes, apply it. I think it should show one which has a conflict, and this is the one. And similarly, there are multiple filters here. You can review them as you want and as you go. So yeah, let's move further. We have multiple tabs here. I'll explain their meanings one by one. So I have explained the search tab. Let's go to complete tab. Complete means whenever a submission has been, uh, whenever a user came onto the platform and made a submission and went through all of the tabs that are necessary for completion of a submission, uh, at the end of it, it gets marked as complete. So these three submissions, whoever was submitting them, like Shivam Tripathi, Aditya Kumar, or Vikrant Gupta, they were submitting it, and they completed all of the tabs, and hence it is complete. And sometimes we can have submissions that are complete and the submitter requests them for to be removed. So that brings us to the next point, and also here this label submitter withdrawn. So we can go here, complete and removed, and you can see we have this submission here. How do we do that though? We can go back to complete. We have this checkbox. We can select a batch process called select decision and click on go, and here we have all of those decisions: none, default, poster presentation, oral presentations. These two are usually assigned in a submission, and if withdrawn, they can say withdrawn. If the submitter withdrew it, then we can click on this. If we are rejecting it, then we can click on rejected. Let's say we rejected it, and click on process. So now it will show as the label rejected. And while we're here, let's briefly touch upon the batch processes here. We have select decision. We can collectively set a decision for all of the submissions, or a few of them if we want to. Here we can click on go, and we can select the decision that we want to assign all of them, and it will get assigned. And we have select category. If we want to change their category, we can click on this drop down here. It will list the categories here. We can select one of them, and we can select it, and it gets applied to all of the submissions. And then we have select session. So if we have made a program, we can assign a session. We can assign one of the submission to this session, but right now we do not have any sessions applied. we haven't created a program yet. So once we do, we'll be able to assign a session to it. So let's skip that one for now. We can, this one is also again related to the select session, because assign abstract number is something we use inside of the programs. We assign a abstract number, and then it gets applied into the session and basically defines a sequence for the submissions. And then we can also change the user. Suppose someone, let's say I want to try this. We have submission title which was made by Shivam Tripathi, and the presenting author is Shivam Tripathi. So suppose I want to change this user to somebody else. So I can search, or I can even add a user here. But for now, I'll search. Let's search for someone named you, and it will search for anybody with this you. Let's say it's Hubert, and we process it. And now you can see the user has changed to Hubert. And also, again, we can change the set user to presenting author. So that is also one thing we can do. We can go, and you can see the submitter was Shivam Tripathi. Now it will change to Shivam Tripathi. I think I was mistaken here. Yeah, I change user to presenting author. So my presenting author became the user. And now I can um, change the submission, which is, if this is maths, I can make it go into physics as well. So that is also something we can do. And we have set review stage. We haven't gone into that into detail yet, but I'll still tell you, when we create review stages, they get listed here. And if we want to assign a review stage for this particular abstract, we can do that here. Let's say I assign it to initial review in maths and process it. And now we have a few more to go. So we have assign a reviewer. I assigned it to a certain stage. I can also assign a reviewer to it. Let's say I assigned it on the review stage, initial review maths, and uh, the Vishesh Jain, this person is a reviewer inside of this stage. So I'll go into that into detail in a moment. Let's process this for now. And now if I, as Vishesh, go into the Currinda platform in this event, I'll see a reviewer mode, and where I can review this submission. And then we have a few more batch processes. These are download full papers. If I click on it, and it will get downloaded right here. I can download recent drafts. I can download presentations of all of these. I can also email the submitter, which prompts up this. We can select a template, insert a subject and content, and attach files. And if session is allocated, we can attach the session schedule as well. But for now, we will not be doing any of it. And we email the submitter here. We can click on email submitter and click on go, and then we can see these pop-up details. We can select a template and then email. And similarly, we have the functionality of email the presenting author, and the ability to delete user submission. Like we can click on delete, and we can delete multiple ones instead of, we also have a delete button here directly. And we can also assign a reviewer, assign a decision, or email the submitter, or do some of the actions here as well. So if I click on assign decision, it will show up the same pop-up, just in a little bit less batch mode. It's not a batch mode, it's just directly assigning a decision to the submission. We'll close this and move forward with other batch processes. Then we have the export data. If I click on go, it will download me the file which contains all of the data related to this submission. And if I had multiple boxes checked, it would have shown me all of the data about this tab. About these submissions in the Excel format. And then I can also download the submission uploads. If I wanted to download all of the files that they have uploaded, like draft paper, presentations, or anything, I could click on go, and it would once I click on process, it would download the entire file to my system. And that's it about the batch processes. Now we can continue on our journey of exploring the tabs inside of the submission listings. We then have the completed and removed, which I already explained is the list where the user submitted their abstract completely and then they assigned a decision of rejected or submission withdrawn. And this is that list. We can perform similar actions here and similar batch processes too. And now let's go to incomplete. The incomplete tab is basically any submission that has not been completed yet. So either the submitter left the tabs midway before completing the submission. So that is this list. And then we have unregistered. Unregistered means if I have presenting authors that have not registered themselves for the event yet, this is the tab that lists them. So I have basically four authors in presenting author names. All of them are the presenters. And now if I want to email, suppose if I want to remind the unregistered authors for this event to register for the event, I can click on this and click on the batch process and email unregistered presenting authors. So as you can see, the presenting author names, it might have one submission might have multiple presenting author names. So what this makes sure is that we are only selecting the users which haven't registered for the event. So when we click on go, it will pick up only those. So once we email, we can uh, send them a reminder that you haven't registered for the event, so please do. So that is one aspect of unregistered. And then we have a removed tab. Removed means it's a list where we can show uh, the submissions that have been removed. How is it different from completed and removed? In complete and removed, the user has submitted their submission, and then it's assigned a decision of being removed or rejected or submission is withdrawn. However, in this case, it lists all of those which have been withdrawn, which have been removed, or whether they were incomplete or complete. It has no regard to that. It shows all of the list. And then we have conflicted. So these are those submissions which have a conflict. So if I click on this, so if you see this list here, uh, it means that this uploader or this submitter had a conflict which they have declared. And then we have unallocated. What is unallocated? Unallocated means that these titles have not been allotted a time, or they have not been allotted a program slot yet. So that is what this means. So once we go into programs and allot them sessions, and inside of the sessions we incorporate these abstracts or submissions, that's when they will be marked as allocated. So till now they'll be unallocated. And then we have the authors. We can see a list of authors that are present in this event. So we have 10 people who are submitting in this event, and they are these and with their titles as well. And we can also apply some filters about uh, who is in program, who's not in program, what decision they've been assigned, and what their registration status is. So we'll continue on. Then we have draft papers. Any submission that has a draft paper will be listed here, and we'll have an option to view that draft file. Suppose this abstract ID with 3 and title barrel descriptive submission, uh, which is obviously a sample submission. So we have a draft file link here. If we click on this, it will open up a new tab in the PDF format, and we'll be able to see that draft file. It was submitted by Aditya Kumar. And we have some filters again: file uploaded, when it was uploaded, when it was last uploaded, unreviewed, whether a decision has been assigned, a review stage. So all of those are available. And now we have the review tab, which we'll jump into in a bit. uh, any submission which has been reviewed by a reviewer, gets listed here. And inside of the reviewers section, you can see who all are reviewing the submissions. This is the stage, initial review stage in Maths Submission Society. The reviewer is Vishesh Jain, and they have given an average score of 6.5, and they've reviewed one article or one submission. And then we have reviews. It lists basically all of the reviews that have been done by this author. And if I can click on this review, you can see he has, okay, this person has reviewed two, and he made one pending. He has one pending, and he gave one a score of 6.5, and that's how the average of 6.5 came about. That's it. That's all about the listings of the submissions. And now, after this, we'll jump into reviews and how we can review, add convener, have review criteria set up, and how anybody can review a paper. Thank you.